Glory to God the Father and Son Yeshua Mashiach. 2 Chronicles chapter 30. Keeping the Passover. Then Hezekiah sent to all Israel and Yehudah, and wrote letters also to Ephraim and Manasseh, summoning them to the house of Adonai in Jerusalem, to keep the Pesach to Adonai the God of Israel. For the king, his officials and the entire Jerusalem community had agreed to keep the Pesach in the second month. They had not been able to observe it at the proper time because the Kohanim had not consecrated themselves in sufficient number. Also the people had not assembled in Jerusalem. The idea had seemed right to the king and to the whole community. So they issued a decree that it should be proclaimed throughout all Israel, from Beer-sheba to Dan, that they should come to keep the Pesach to Adonai the God of Israel at Jerusalem, for only a few had been observing it as prescribed. So runners went with the letters from the king and his officers throughout all Israel and Yehudah. They conveyed the king's order: People of Israel, turn back to Adonai, the God of Abraham, Yitzchak and Yaakov. Then he will return to those of you who remain, who escaped capture by the kings of Ashur. Don't be like your ancestors, or like your kinsmen who sinned against Adonai the God of their ancestors, with the result that he allowed him to become an object of horror, as you see. Don't be stiff-necked now, as your ancestors were. Instead, yield yourselves to Adonai, enter his sanctuary, which he has made holy forever, and serve Adonai your God, so that his fierce anger will turn away from you. For if you turn back to Adonai, your kinsmen and children will find that those who took them captive will have compassion on them, and they will come back to this land. Adonai your God is compassionate and merciful. He will not turn his face away from you if you return to him. So the runners passed from city to city through the territory of Ephraim and Manasseh as far as Zebulun, but the people laughed at them and made fun of them. Nevertheless, some from Asher, Manasseh and Zebulun were humble enough to come to Jerusalem. Also in Yehudah the hand of God was at work, uniting their hearts to do what the king and the leaders had ordered in accordance with the word of Adonai. Thus, many people assembled in Jerusalem to keep the festival of Matzit in the second month, a huge crowd. First they set about removing the altars that were in Jerusalem, and they also removed all the altars for incense and threw them in Vadi Kidron. Then they slaughtered the Pesach lamb on the 14th day of the second month. Ashamed of themselves, the Kohanim and Levium had consecrated themselves and brought burnt offerings into the house of Adonai. Now they stood at their stations, as prescribed in the Torah of Moshe the man of God. The Kohanim splashed the blood given to them by the Levium. For there were many in the assembly who had not consecrated themselves. Therefore the Levium were responsible for slaughtering the Pesach lambs and consecrating them to Adonai on behalf of everyone who was not clean. For a large number of the people, especially from Ephraim, Manasseh, Issachar and Zebulun, had not cleansed themselves but ate the Pesach lamb anyway, despite what is written. For Hezekiah had prayed for them, may Adonai, who is good, pardon. Everyone who sets his heart on seeking God, Adonai, the God of his ancestors, even if he hasn't undergone the purification prescribed in connection with holy things. Adonai heard Hezekiah and healed the people. The people of Israel there in Jerusalem observed the festival of Matzit for 7 days with great joy, while every day the Levium and Kohanim praised Adonai, singing to Adonai with the accompaniment of loud instruments. Hezekiah spoke encouragingly to all the Levium who were well skilled in the service of Adonai. Thus they ate throughout the festival for the 7 days, offering sacrifices of peace offerings and giving thanks to Adonai, the God of their ancestors. 7 other feast days. Then the whole assembly decided to celebrate for yet another 7 days, and they observed those 7 days too with joy. For Hezekiah king of Yehuda gave the assembly 1,000 bulls and 7,000 sheep for offerings, while the leaders gave the assembly 1,000 bulls and 10,000 sheep, and great numbers of Kohanim consecrated themselves. All the people who had assembled from Yehuda rejoiced, as did the Kohanim and Levium, those assembled from Yisrael, and the foreigners who had come from the territory of Yisrael or who lived in Yehuda. So there was great joy in Jerusalem, for since the time of Shlomo the son of David, king of Yisrael, there had been nothing like it in Jerusalem. Then the Kohanim, who were Levium, stood up and blessed the people. Adonai heard their voice, and their prayer came up to the holy place where he lives, heaven.